Welcome one, welcome all to Season 24 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series. As we start things off here, as we are here today at Daytona International Speedway, Daytona Beach, Florida. As always, where the season begins, obviously, for Speed Weeks here. As Daytona 500 qualifying, of course, is completed, so that means it's time for the Gatorade Twin 125s. It's the dual races to set up the overall lineup for the Daytona 500. And as always, the front row is locked up. Here is locked in with Emmanuel Hardnett and Ryan Brommer on the front row for today's event. And this is race number 1 to set the inside rows lineup. So Emmanuel Hardnett, by being the pole sitter for the Daytona 500, is on the pole for the 125s, race number 1. He's in the Dollar General Toyota car number 20. Alongside of him will be number 33, making his return to the series, Zach Rogers in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet car 33. Second row has Ryan George in 15, the Quality Care Services Ford. And beside him will be car number 21, Benjamin Miles in the Quick Lane Motorcraft Ford. Third row has Michael Whitman in his return to the series, number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet. Beside him, a rookie in the series, but no stranger to the NNSCRA, Tristan Allen on the outside, the Office Depot Chevrolet car number 14. Next row is Jesse Turner in car 01, the U.S. Army Pontiac, and Nathan Orman making his moves at Earnhardt Ganassi Racing number 1 Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. The fourth row will have Matt Haas in number 18, Interstate Barriers Pontiac. That was the car he drove last season, by the way. It's a 1999 Pontiac. He has a 97 as a backup, by the way. Beside him will be Quentin Moore, number 89, the Racing for Jesus Dodge. Next row down has Kat Batson, 28, Texaco Haviland Ford, who back with his car this season. And beside her will be Charles Sanford, 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. Next row down, Zach Winkle in 26, the Irwin Tools Ford. And number 99 in his return to the series, Levi McIntyre in the Aflac Ford, car number 99. Next row down, James Henry in number 31, the Singular Wireless Chevrolet. And Matthew Logan in number 32, the Tide Pontiac. Matthew Logan in his rookie season in this series. Next row down is Phil Parker in 25, the UAW Delphi Chevrolet, car number 25. And beside him will be number 11, Mitchell Collins in the FedEx Ground Toyota. Next row down has Seth Cullen, number 98, the Positive and Encouraging K-Love Ford for NNSCRA Motorsports. And beside him will be his buddy Dylan Poteet in the 22 Caterpillar Pontiac, the two-time Daytona 500 champion in this series. And starting shotgun field will be Kev Shearer in car 00, the Aaron Stream Machine Toyota. And Kev didn't pick this car because he was a David Bruderman fan. He's actually picking this car because the 00 is a number of his favorite driver, Landon Castle. Now, of course, as always in the Gatorade 125s, these are two races, as we said, to set up qualifying, to set up the overall lineup for the Daytona 500. And what this is going to be, by the way, we have okay. The inside row of the Daytona 500 will be determined in the very first race, which is what you're about to see here, and that's positions 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on down to 41, and the second race will determine the outside row, which will be the even number starting positions. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on down to 40. And we do have one driver in the series, by the way, who's only running 6 races this season, so which is something like that's never happened before in this series. So you'll find out which driver it is when we get to race number 2, by the way. But this is race number 1, and here's the command to fire the engines for the Gatorade Twin 125s, race number 1.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
In-car cameras today will be carried by will be carried by Seth Cole, Charles Sanford, and Levi McIntyre. Those three will be carrying our in-car cameras in today's event. For this race here at Daytona, the first of the two dual races. So we'll be back after this, and we'll be back with the start after this. Back at Daytona International Speedway as we're field is now entering turns 3 and 4, as we're about to get set for determine the lineup for the odd number starting positions lineup for the Daytona 500. Again, the pole sitter is locked in for the 500. So Emmanuel Harding will keep the pole no matter what happens in this race here. As the pace car goes up on the pit road, green flag is about to fly, and let season 24 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series commence. And here we go. Hartnett's won the Daytona 500 himself as well in this series, as a matter of fact, as they go into turn number 1, and on the break, Hartnett will lean him down as he pulls ahead of Zach Rogers as they go into turn number 1. Ryan George in the 15 car at the second position. It's a 95 Thunderbird he's driving out of Budmore Motorsports. Because of this being Cup physics, of course, obviously, it'll take him about a lap or two to get him up to full song. Ryan George goes to the inside for the lead. He's got Michael Whitman in 48 behind him. This 125 qualifiers, by the way, has produced some surprise winners, by the way, too. We have had rookies that's won in the 125 qualifiers in this series since we started doing this. And Ryan George leads the first lap of the Gatorade Duels as they come up and as they go into turn number 1. First lap tied at 165.703 miles per hour, but that's not going to be the pace you'll be seeing a lot of today, because they'll be doing laps of well over 190 miles per hour here at Daytona as they come down the backstretch now. Matt Haas to the low side of Jesse Turner in 0-1 as they go down the backstretch. Cat Batson behind him, as well as the 14 car of Tristan Allen. And by the way, Cat Batson won the last time he was on the plate track in the second race at Talladega last season. Here comes Jesse Turner to the low side. Brian George shuts the door on him. Going into third position now is Matt Haas, Cat Batson fourth, and Tristan Allen looking for fifth position now as he tries to look on the low side of the 48 of Michael Whitman. 26 car of Zach Winkle right behind. I think he has a plate win in this series as well. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I think he pulled off a win at Talladega one time. In the meantime, Matt Haas goes to second position as he moves Jesse Turner up the track. And may have our first lead change. Matt Haas to the low side. He did not lead that lap, but here he comes to the low side. Ryan George has led the first 3 laps of this race here, this 125 duel. But it will not be 4 as he goes in through 1 and 2. Haas to the low side takes the lead, and Cat Batson second. So Pontiac first, Ford's second and third, Chevrolet's is fourth, and a Ford in fifth. And here comes Cat Batson to the low side. She'll look for the lead. That is one of 3 cars from the KB Enterprises stable as Keith Batson's Legion of Fords. Keith himself, by the way, is in race number 2, along with Jackson Haywood, who's the rookie, is one of the rookies in this series, which I think there's about 3 or 4 of them this season. I think there's 3. Now we mentioned the pole sitter is of course locked in regardless of where he finishes. Though the same goes for the outside pole sitter in the 125 race number 2. You'll be seeing later on in this video. So if somebody besides the pole sitter wins, or if somebody besides the pole sitter or outside pole sitter wins the dual races, though, then the winner of race number 1 will get 3rd starting position, and the winner of race number 2 will get 4th starting position. So that's how things work, and then as we said, it works on down the line. 5 laps into the books, and Kat Batson leads her first lap, or second lap, I should say. Tristan Allen in second position, Zach Winkle third, and here comes 31, James Henry, who drove the 33 car last season. Had some good runs in that car, but not quite what you expect. Phil Parker to the low side. He drove the 5 car last season. This season he moves to the 25 car for Hendrick Motorsports. And here comes Winkle to the low side of Tristan Allen. Takes the position away at second place. Hendrick Motorsports, by the way, with 5 cars this season, by the way, and 2 of them are in this field of cars. That's Phil Parker in 25. Charles Sanford in 24 is also in this mix of cars. On board with Levi McIntyre, looking from the back bumper of his Aflac Ford. Looking right at the back of Charles, looking right at the front end of Charles Sanford's Chevrolet. Not much speed gain on the backstretch here. 191 miles an hour. See how it goes into turn number 3. 192 miles an hour, so only a 2-mile-an-hour gain on the backstretch. He'll go through turns 3 and 4. 189 miles an hour. 188 off the bump, coming off turn number 4, 190 miles an hour, 191 and 90. Well, you have to back up a little bit down to 187 miles an hour. And that last lap for Levi, 192.127 miles per hour. And this is a look from inside the machine, going Poteet up ahead in 22. Zach Winkle takes the lead, by the way, in this race. And now you're riding with Seth Cullen, number 98. These 2 dual races are 16 laps long, by the way. Both the dual races are 16 laps. As you watch, Seth Cullen makes the move to the low side of Phil Parker. There you see the fastest laps of the race so far, 192.588. That's the fastest lap so far, set by Nathan Ormond. And meantime, Phil Parker takes the lead, averaging so far almost 188 miles, 187.98 to be exact. Probably 188 this time by. After 9 laps, as they come into turn number 3, it'll be 9 down the books and 7 to go in this first duel. Poteet second position, McIntyre to third. Here comes Sanford for fourth position. And Mitchell Collins, he knows how to get it done on the plate tracks by himself. His only Cup Series victory in this series came in the Pepsi 400 a few seasons back. So Mitchell Collins knows how to get it done. And for some of these drivers, there that the original qualifying, by the way, where they'll finish, maybe a whole lot better than where they would start if it was an ordinary race, like we'll be going to for race number 2 at Rockingham on down. Like it'll be from every race on down, from Rockingham on down, I should say, in the series. Parker has the lead, 10 laps in the books, 6 to go. Inside Paul Sanford's car. Sanford also has the front bumper cam. There he is, right there. Looks to the low side of McIntyre. This is for the lead. He's going to take it. Charles Sanford to the left side. He's got the lead in car 24. The season 6. Here he's the season 19 Daytona 500 champion. And Collins gets moved up the track by Nathan Ormond here as he come on to the into turn number 1. 5 to go. Collins in second place. Ormond looking for third, and here comes 32. That is 32 car, Matthew Logan. Cross start finish line to go. It's now 4 laps to go. Into turn number 1 they go here. That's front 4 cars have broken away, and here comes Kev Shear in 00. He's up to 5th position now. His best 500 finish was a 2nd. And he would like to get his first 500 victory this season as they go into turn number 3. Here comes Orman to the low side for the number 1 spot. They're all trying to get by Charles Sanford, the leader of this race. And I do also want to mention, too, when I did signups, by the way, there is a person, by the way, who I kind of want to give an apology for to some extent, though, but it's the guy who tried to sign up for several cars in this field, and I kept ignoring his comment and whatever. And, yeah, right there, James Henry in 31 is who drives this car, but there was a guy who wanted this car, and along with several others, that I kept ignoring his comment on, but I do want to apologize and say I'm sorry to him, by the way, also, but the reason why I kept ignoring his comment so much is because I did not want to see, I did not want, name, I didn't want any unknown names in this series, because I was getting a little bit tired of having unknown names in this series, whereas everybody else seems to get all the well-known names. So not that I didn't want to put Casey Nanico back in the series or everything, but still, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, 2 laps to go in this Gatorade Duel race number 1 here, and here comes Shearer, has 2nd position at the moment. He had 2nd position. Now Levi McIntyre was him at the track. Are they going to do anything with Charles Sanford? He's out in front. Here, Sanford has led since lap number 11 in this duel. And here comes McIntyre for the 2nd position now, and he's got Zach Rogers behind him. Quentin Morgan's with the track by the 21 car of Benjamin Miles. As he moves into 3rd and 4th turns now, Miles tries to make it 3 deep as he come off turn number 4. It'll be the white flag this time by 1 lap to go in race number 1. The Gatorade Duels. Charles Sanford was going to lead him down. But here comes Levi McIntyre, says, "Nuh-uh, I want to win this first race, this first duel race," and Zach Rogers he's going to take Zach Rogers with him. And something went wrong on one of the cars here. That was Nathan Orman. He blew up and held up everybody. Held up everybody in the field here. Meantime, it's all going to come up to number 4. Here comes Zach Rogers to the low. Is he going to make a move? No, he's not going to do it. And the winner of race number 1 of the Gatorade Duels is Levi McIntyre. He wins the first duel race at Daytona. Zach Rogers comes home 2nd, Quentin Moore 3rd, Charles Sanford 4th, and Benjamin Miles 5th, and Kev Shearer will finish 6th. And there is a slowing Nathan Orman. What in the world happened to spread everybody out in the field just like that on the last lap? We are going to look at this whole deal. Let's take a look real time at what happened to Nathan Orman here. Orman came across the start-finish line. He came across the start-finish line, I think, in 5th position. And there he was. He swerves around just a little bit. And yet, look how many cars he held up, and he actually almost took Mitchell Collins out in the 11 car. And look who all he held up: Poteet, Logan, Turner, Seth Cole, Winkle, Allen, and Kat Batson. There's going to be a lot of guys PO'd at Nathan Orman over that one. And meantime, of course, here was the finish once again to this race here. Levi McIntyre, you see him winning this Gatorade Duel number 1. And that's how everything ends up here. So the first of the Gatorade Twin 125s is over. Levi McIntyre wins, averaging 189, 622. Zach Rogers, Quentin Moore, Charles Sammer, Benjamin Miles, and Kep Sherry, we mentioned, was the top 6. 7th was Michael Whitman. 8th, Emmanuel Hartnett. He'll keep the pole, by the way, even though he finished 8th in this race. Ryan George, Mitchell Collins, the top 10. Then Matt Haas, James Henry, Phil Parker, Matthew Logan, Seth Cole, Zach Winkle, Dylan Pote, Tristan Allen, Jesse Turner, and Kat Betts in the top 20, and Nathan Orman. Blown Engine All did make it come across the line 40 seconds back in 21st position. So Orman, unfortunately for him, goes from a top 10 starting position possibly to dead last starting position for the Daytona 500. But he's fell pretty much to the bottom of most people's Christmas card list after all that happened on the last lap. So with all that said here, we'll be right back with duel number 2 for Speed Weeks at Daytona right after this.
Frank, did you have any ignition problems?
Back at Daytona International Speedway, duel number 1 completed with Levi McIntyre taking the victory in that race, and we now go to duel number 2 at Daytona. And this is the second 16-lap race that will determine the even number starting positions. The odd number starting spots are already set. So we're about to see what happens to determine the other half of the lineup. And here's the lineup for today's event. On the pole is Ryan Brommer. The outside pulls over to 500 automatically. In the Valvoline Ford, car number 6, he'll be alongside Mike Becker, car 43 of the STP Pontiac, taking the ride from Joshua Collard, who I think is sitting out NR for good. I'm not sure, but anyway. Only he'll probably know. Anyway, row number 2 has Dylan Young, the Miller Lite Dodge, car number 2, and he'll be alongside car 8, Rob Evans in the Budweiser Chevrolet. Third row, Joshua Osborne, car number 78, the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Butts Toyota. He'll be alongside the black number 3, Cole Deaver in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet. He'll be alongside. The fourth row has Shane Lake in car 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac, and Jessica Shelton in the DeWalt Ford, car number 17. And Shelton, by the way, is the one that's running 6 races this season, by the way, and trying to cross some wins off of her bucket list. And she, yes, by the way, is the defending series champion. The next row down has Keith Batson in 80, the Quality Care Services Ford Credit Ford. He'll be alongside number 7, Jackson Haywood, the XI Barris Ford, car number 7. He's a rookie in this series. Next row down has Zachary Fitzwater in the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. He'll be alongside car 19. It'll be Carson Gum in the dealer's Dodge, car number 19, and that's the Casey Atwood car, not the Jeremy Mayfield car, by the way. Next right down, Daniel Bouchard in 55, the Aaron Street Machine Toyota, and he'll be alongside Johnny Gardner in the Altel Dodge, car number 12. Next right down is Paul Minnick in 16, the Family Channel Ford, and William Brock in car number 4, the Kodak Film Chevy. Next one down is a pair of Coors Light cars. Kyle Matthews in the number 42 Coors Light Pontiac, and Sky Commons in the Coors Light Dodge, car number 40. Next row down has the last row in this duel have Jeremy Diaz in number 71, the Team Realtree Chevrolet, and Jay Jefferson in number 5, the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet. In-car cameras today for this second duel will be carried by Kyle Matthews, Jessica Shelton, and Joshua Osborne. Those three will be carrying our in-car cameras for the second duel race. So this will be the second duel race, as we mentioned here at Daytona, as fields lined up about to wait for the command to fire the engines here. We already have, as we said, one half of the 500 lineup determined. And here comes the command to fire the engines for race number 2.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
That's ladies and gentlemen, by the way, because we do have. I actually forgot to mention that on the first duel. We actually have 2 ladies in the field, by the way, in this series, by the way. So, everybody that's in this race. So, had 1 lady in the first duel and another lady in the second duel. So. So Ryan Brommer will lead the field down for the green flag for race number 2 of the Gatorade Duels after this. Back at Daytona International Speedway, field's now rounding through turns 3 and 4 here. There's a speed shot that we'll be seeing occasionally here on this second duel race. Levi McIntyre won the first one. This will granting him 3rd starting position. We'll see who, if not the outside pole sitter for the 500, wins the second duel. If like I said, if the outside pole sitter does not win the second duel, then whoever else wins it, he or she will be granted 3rd or 4th starting position in this race. As the green flag flies are underway in duel number 2 at Daytona. Ryan Brommer of Abilene Ford jumps out in front. Dylan Young looking for 2nd position. Dylan Young won the last time he was at Daytona in the Pepsi 400, and you can bet he's even though he's now driving a Dodge instead of a Ford, he's gonna be trying to parlay some of that magic he had that race and try to see what he can do and try to win the second duel race. On board, Joshua Osborne's car is about to complete the first lap here, right there behind Ryan Brommer, the leader of the race. Osborne this season switching from Ford to Toyota this season. And that first lap in the second duel tallied at 168.78 miles an hour. And by this second season in a row, Osborne is getting to drive a car of one of his favorite drivers. By the way, last season he drove Jeff Burton's car last season. And with the 1999 car set, this season he's driving with the Martin Truex Jr. colors. This season from 2016. Let's hope for Osborne he does not finish second by a whisker in the 500 like Truex did to Hamlin. But right now Osborne is in the lead. Here comes Keith Batson, and he like Jessica Shelton wants to win a Daytona 500 so badly he can't even stand it. And this is a 2000 Taurus he's driving, and Jarrett did win the 500 in 2000, so maybe that could be a good combo for Batson. Who knows? But but still a long time off before we can finally figure out who wins the 500 for season 24. Here comes Batson to the low side. He's going to bring Zachary Fitzwater with him. Nope, Fitzwater looks to the low side, and he's going to take the Chase Elliott colors to the lead now. And yes, you're hearing right, by the way. Somebody other than Jessica Shelton driving an Elliott scheme, by the way. You're actually hearing that right. Shelton actually wanted the Kenseth color. Shelton actually has the Kenseth colors this season. But of course, she did mention she's only running 6 races this season. So they're trying to give somebody else a shot at the championship. I think that's what she told me, I think. But anyway. Off turn number 2, Daniel Bouchard up to the top spot now. And this is another, I don't think he's a rookie in the series. I actually don't think he is, but I could be wrong on that. But he is the number 55 Aaron Street Machine Toyota for Michael Waltrip Racing as they come through turns 3 and 4. Paul Minnick in 2nd position now in 16. 3rd is Kyle Matthews, the season 23 Daytona, the season 24 or season 22 Daytona 500 champion in this series. On board with Kyle Matthews. Riding in 3rd position right now, the number 42 Coors Light Pontiac. This is for Matthews. It's I think for Matthews is his 2nd favorite paint scheme, only behind the Mellow Yellow scheme from Kyle Petty. This is the scheme that Petty drove in the Daytona 500 in 1995. So Minnick moves up to the high side. Here comes number 71 as the rookie, Jeremy Diaz. You come across the start-finish line, completes the 5th lap of this race. They're averaging 189.145 miles an hour after 5 laps. Sky Comments making the move to Dodge this season, number 40 Coors Light Chevrolet, or Coors Light Dodge, excuse me, for Sabco Racing. Or actually, that's Chip Ganassi Racing, excuse me, in the 40 car. Paul Minnick to the high side. Johnny Gardner, number 12 Altel Mobile One Dodge, as he makes the move from Hendrick to Penske this season. So Gardner, of course, a teammate now with Dylan Young on the Penske Motorsports, Penske Racing, I should say. Both driving 2004 Dodge Intrepids in this series. In the off turn number 2, there's Jay Jefferson, who started this dual race in last position, trying to make sure he starts somewhere other than 40th for the 500. He actually qualified 40th originally. So the dual race, he hopes to start somewhere way higher than that, preferably up near the front. Shane Lake in 30 cars in the second position. He's got Pennzoil as a sponsor this season. He also has Gum out for a few races as well himself. And right there behind him, another driver that, like Keith Batson, would love to win the 500 herself. That's Jessica Shelton as he goes through turns 1 and 2. Shelton now up to the 4th position. On board with her right now. And right there behind her is Cole Deaver in car number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevy. And there is a look at Deaver's car. He only won once last season at the Texas Motor Speedway. But we will be heading to race number 6 this season, I believe. Yep, it'll be race number 6 this season. And you saw that rear bumper shot, though, Deaver moving up on Shelton's back end before we cut back to race view. Right now, number 5, Jay Jefferson has the lead, but here comes Shane Lake to the low side. Number 30, the Pennzoil Pontiac. And he'll move to the top spot now. Shelton shoving him. Here comes Deaver, Dylan Young, and Fitzwater. We mentioned 5. We mentioned, I think it was actually we had mentioned 5 Hendrick Motorsports cars. Actually, there's actually not 5. Actually, I double checked. The 8 car, the 88 car this season is a Yates machine. So actually it's now 4. Actually, it's 4 Hendrick cars this season, not 5. I mentioned in the first dual race, but. Yeah, but the 2 Hendrick cars are in the first dual race, and the second, and the other 2 Hendrick cars are in this dual race. You had the 24 and the 25 in the first dual race, and the 5 and the 9 in the second. Already 6 laps to go in race number 2 of the Gatorade Duels. Cole Deaver to the inside of Shelton for second place. You remember in the first race, Charles Sammer almost led the rest of the way. That was until Levi McIntyre made the move on him in turn number 1 on the last lap of the race. And Deaver hopes that does not happen to him in the second dual race. And here comes Dylan Young to the low side. Car number 2, the Miller Lite Dodge. Dodge to the low side, Chevy on the high side as we go through turns 3 and 4. And he also got Chevy right behind the Dodge, then Toyota, Ford, and Dodge. 5 laps to go. Fitzwater looking for second place here. Osborne trying for third in number 80 and number 78 car. Driving for Furniture Row Racing as they go through turns 1 and 2. Back inside Osborne's car. And Osborne to the high side there as Fitzwater went to the low side. Osborne gets stuck on the high side now. Here comes Batson to the low side in 88. And somebody stuck an in-car camera in Carson Gumb's car. I don't know what happened there. Anyway. Three wide for the lead here. Batson to the low side. Takes the number 1 spot here. Remember, Batson almost won the Pepsi 400 last season. Got passed on the final lap by Dylan Young for the win. Batson did score 2 wins last season. His wins came at Martins in the second Martinsville race, and he also won the fall race at Charlotte. But Batson's is one of those hard luck stories when it comes to the championship. He's been so close so many times, especially in season 19 when he had the points lead going into Homestead, the last race of the season, and was one of those drivers that fell to the Homestead curse. That's happened a lot, it seems like, in this series. Batson to the lead now with now 3 laps to go. Ryan Brommer, the outside, pulls it over to 500 in second position. Carson Gum at the third spot. Fourth position now is William Brock in car number 4. Brock actually originally qualified horribly for the 500. He could be in good standing to pick up a well better starting position as they go through turns 3 and 4. Helicopter view, and you watch Carson Gunn make a 3 wide, taking the lead there. Batson falling behind, as well as Brommer. And here comes Sky Commons, Rob Evans in the 8 car as they go to the start finish line now with 2 laps to go. Commons moves the 4 car up the track as they go through turns 1 and 2. Can Carson Gum hold them all off? We'll see here. Commons making a run at it here. Here comes the 8 car Rob Evans, 5 of Jay Jefferson. It'll be the white flag this time by. They're 2x2, almost like a pace lap at over 190 miles an hour. Off the 4th turn they come. It'll be the white flag for Gatorade Duel number 2. Carson Gum out in front. Here comes Rob Evans, the defending 500 champion, to the low side. White flag. And here comes Commons. He's gonna make the low side work to his advantage. They go to turn number 1. And it's Sky Commons to the number 1 spot. Here comes Rob Evans. And moving up on is Jay Jefferson at number 5. Down the backstretch they come here. Evans to the low side. Can he make the pass for the win? Commons holding the top spot for the moment. Here they go to turn number 3. Evans is going to, it says, move out of the way. The choo-choo train is coming. Off the 4th turn they come here. Evans out in front. Just Jefferson make a move on the last lap here. He peaks to the low side of the track here as they come off the 4th turn. And it's not going to happen for Jefferson. Rob Evans wins race number 2 of the Gatorade Duels. So Rob Evans takes the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Budweiser colors to victory lane in duel number 2. So Ford wins the first duel and Chevy wins the second duel at Daytona. Second goes to Jay Jefferson. Third to Sky Commons. Jackson Haywood. We haven't talked about him at all in this duel. He finishes in 4th position in this first duel race, or in the second duel race, I should say. Carson Gum 5th. Kyle Matthews 6th. 7th will go to William Brock. Shane Lake 8th. 9th to Ryan Brommer, and 10th to the 71 of Jeremy Diaz. And so that will do it for duel number 2. Average speed 191.842. Large victory 89,000th of a second. Rest of the finishing order: Keith Batson, Mike Becker, Zachary Fitzwater, Johnny Gardner, Paul Minnick, Daniel Bouchard, Dylan Young, Jessica Shelton, Joshua Osborne and Cole Deaver will start this race in 40th, unfortunately, for the 500. So guys like Osborne, Shelton, and Deaver's and Young's gonna have a long way to go if they hope to win the Daytona 500. So that will do it here today for the Gatorade Twin 125s. Congratulations again to Levi McIntyre and Rob Evans, your dual winners for the Gatorade Twin 125s. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got inter races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for this channel, which I have a feeling is not going to be very much longer. So somebody here is going to have to carry the torch, I guess. But anyway, we have everything. We got offline races, gaming videos, and a lot of surprises, I guess you might say, on this channel too. Anyway, so be sure also to check out our other series as well, including the Dorsal Cup series, the Budweiser All Pro series, and the Marvel Studios Cup series from Levi McIntyre himself, and coming soon from yours truly, by the way. If a certain car set ever comes out, by the way, for Cup 90, will be the revival of the NNSCRA, will be the revival of the Mellow Yellow Racing series, by the way. That's my Busch Grand National series, I guess you might say, too. And also be sure to check out some videos from some of the online races from the NNSCRA as well. So that will anyway, that will do it here today at Daytona National Speedway. Here, the Daytona 500 lineup is set. Congratulations again to Levi McIntyre, winner of Duel number 1, and Rob Evans, the winner of Duel number 2 here at Daytona. For now, this is James Qualson in production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you for the Daytona 500. And the lineup, by the way, will be at the conclusion of this video.